A Burmese monk, while on a pilgrimage in search of the true Dharma, accidentally encountered two extraterrestrials. Through them, he came to know many shocking secrets about civilizations beyond Earth.
In March 1992, a Burmese monk, after many years of spiritual cultivation in the tranquil solitude of the mountains and forests, decided to leave his humble hermitage to embark on a long pilgrimage with a noble purpose: to seek the true Dharma. During his years of practice, he gradually came to realize that the Dharma of the present, especially in this Dharma-ending age, seemed to have lost its former potency, no longer as efficacious as the teachings once expounded by the Buddha Shakyamuni. The sacred doctrines that once guided and transformed human beings had now become mere external forms, lacking the power to truly save sentient beings who were becoming increasingly lost in an age of materialism and ignorance. It was for this reason that the monk gave rise to a great vow and set out on his journey, with deep reverence and unwavering resolve. On this path, he carried only a begging bowl for alms and offerings. With no money, no luggage, he traveled on foot across unfamiliar lands, journeying thousands of miles to China, a land that preserves many sacred relics and ancient spiritual traditions. The specific goal of his journey was to visit the sacred sites of Taoism, such as Mount Wudong, Mount Longhu, and other ancient holy places. He believed that in those places, within the mystical practices and ancient sects, there might still remain the true Dharma, the genuine path of cultivation that could lead one to transcendence and a return to one's pure original nature. This pilgrimage was not merely a physical voyage across geographical space, but a profound inner journey, a pursuit of spiritual wisdom and ultimate truth in an age when both Buddhist and Daoist teachings were fading, gradually losing their brilliance amid the distractions of the mundane world. After many months of wandering through the lands of China, the Burmese monk finally arrived in the city of Danjiangkou, the gateway to Mount Wudong, one of the most sacred sites in Taoism. With a deep hope that he might find the true Dharma within the Daoist lineage, he spent his time meditating, praying, and quietly observing the practitioners there. Along the way, he unexpectedly encountered a Daoist priest, whose appearance was dignified and aura commanding. However, having already awakened his celestial eye during his earlier cultivation, the monk used his spiritual vision to peer into the inner world of the priest. What he saw deeply unsettled him. The priest's mind was filled with images of money and beautiful women, devoid of any true tranquility or genuine spiritual cultivation. What was even more striking was that in the dantian, the energy center within the body of a cultivator, of this priest, there appeared the yin-yang fish symbol, an esoteric diagram denoting a true disciple, someone who had once received orthodox teachings from the mysterious school. Yet, for someone who had once been entrusted with such profound teachings to now harbor only desires and materialistic thoughts was a clear sign of the Dharma's decline. Even Taoism was not immune to the erosion of inner virtue and true cultivation. Faced with this truth, the monk felt a heavy sorrow. He prostrated himself toward Mount Wudong, earnestly praying to the Three Treasures patriarch of the Daoist tradition, pleading for guidance and a path toward the true way. In the profound stillness that followed, nearly an hour of silent devotion, he suddenly sensed the manifestation of the patriarch's Dharma body, who then bestowed upon him a sacred teaching. This teaching would completely change the course of his journey in search of the true Dharma. After receiving guidance from the Dharma body of the Three Treasures patriarch, the monk resumed his wandering journey with an unwavering resolve to uncover the true Dharma amidst this age of spiritual chaos and decay. One day, as he was preparing to leave Danjiangkou, something utterly extraordinary happened, an event that not only transcended the boundaries of religion, but also went beyond the limits of human understanding. While walking down a street, he came across a young couple, around 25 or 26 years old. They had strikingly beautiful appearances, a modern aura, and dressed in fashionable attire, clearly standing out amid the crowd. However, when the monk observed them with his celestial eye, he immediately sensed something unusual. They were not human, nor were they spirits or beings possessed by animals. They did not belong to the human realm at all. Using the highest level of spiritual vision, he had attained the Buddha eye. He clearly saw their true life essence. They were extraterrestrial beings. What lay within their consciousness and memory did not originate from Earth. From deep within their minds, he perceived memories, knowledge, and imagery from distant civilizations far beyond our world. Realizing they had been discovered, the two aliens were immediately stricken with fear. They rushed toward the monk, prostrating themselves before him, begging him not to reveal their true identities. Though they harbored no ill intent, they were terrified that someone on earth could see through them so effortlessly. The monk, moved by compassion, paid their fear no mind. He continued on his path, but the two beings were determined to follow him, pleading to become his disciples. Though he did not accept them as disciples, as they lacked the necessary conditions to follow the Buddha Dharma, he allowed them to accompany him. From that moment on, the monk began to learn of countless shocking secrets regarding extraterrestrials and civilizations beyond Earth. On the next leg of the journey, the two extraterrestrials, though not formally accepted as disciples, persistently followed the monk, all the while revealing to him knowledge never before disclosed to humankind about the existence and nature of extraterrestrial civilizations. According to their account, the vast universe is far from being limited to Earth as the only cradle of life. On the contrary, countless civilizations exist beyond our world, some with histories spanning millions, even billions of years far beyond the scope of human imagination. These civilizations had attained unimaginable levels of scientific and technological advancement. They could manipulate energy at will, traverse space, and even move through time. Yet, despite their technological prowess, these beings were unable to surpass the ultimate barrier of life. Their lifespans remained limited. Immortality was a boundary that no amount of science could breach. The irony, they admitted, was that while their scientific knowledge was astonishing, they completely lacked culture, moral code, or any sense of faith in divine beings. Their societies were purely materialistic, devoid of spirituality or ethical foundations. And because of this, they had come to a profound realization. The faith and moral values of Earth's humans, especially reverence toward divine beings like gods and Buddhas, were something that far surpassed even their highest technologies. For this reason, the extraterrestrials had come to Earth not to invade, as humans often feared, but to learn human culture, morality, and the devotion that people have for the divine. They believed this was the true key to transcending the limitations of life and achieving genuine spiritual elevation. As the monk continued his spiritual journey with the two extraterrestrial companions, they gradually revealed that their mission was not random. A long-standing cosmic prophecy, passed down among certain advanced alien civilizations, spoke of a holy man from the East who would one day possess the vision and heart to unlock the path of true salvation, not just for Earth, but for countless worlds. According to this prophecy, Earth, though seemingly insignificant in the vast galaxy, holds something no other world possesses: the seed of divine morality and the spiritual blueprint for ultimate transcendence. This seed, however, has been buried under centuries of degeneration and the rise of materialism. The monk, with his unshakable vow to find the true Dharma, was seen by the aliens as a potential catalyst in awakening this ancient seed. They confessed that other beings from distant galaxies had long observed Earth's spiritual heritage, especially the teachings of Buddha, Daoist immortals, and other enlightened sages, with great reverence. But due to the current era of Dharma decline, these sacred teachings had become distorted, ritualistic, or lost. The monk's presence, however, reignited an ancient memory across dimensions. One of the things that surprised the monk the most was the true appearance and transformative abilities of extraterrestrial beings. Contrary to the stereotypical images often seen in movies, large heads, big eyes, and gray-skinned aliens do not have a fixed form. Their true bodies closely resemble octopuses, soft, flexible, and capable of changing shape depending on their environment. After arriving on Earth, they mimicked human appearance to blend in and live among people seamlessly, to the point where the human eye could not detect any difference. In today's human society, many extraterrestrials are already living in hiding, quietly working in various fields such as science, technology, education, and even within religious organizations. However, very few of them possess a sincere heart for cultivation. Most are merely interested in studying human belief systems in order to replicate or apply them to their own societies, building temples, churches, Buddha statues, and so on. Yet no matter how much they imitate external forms, the gods and Buddhas pay no attention to them. This is because they lack spiritual intuition. They have no third eye, and thus cannot truly step onto the path of cultivation. The monk came to realize that no matter how advanced in intellect and technology aliens might be, they remain intelligent animals, beings that lack compassion and the innate spiritual foundation necessary for true cultivation. For this reason, the divine cannot offer them salvation in the same way as it can for humans. They may study and learn, but they can never attain genuine enlightenment. The story closes with the image of the monk continuing his journey, now carrying within him a profound understanding of the universe, of the decline of the Dharma in the age of degeneration, and of the longing for transcendence not just within humanity, but among countless sentient beings across the cosmos. Despite their superior technological capabilities, extraterrestrials still face a boundary that cannot cross the boundary of life and spirituality. They may be able to traverse space, manipulate energy, and restructure matter, but they cannot cultivate themselves to transcend the cycle of birth and death like human beings can. This revealed a profound truth that the monk came to understand. Only humans possess the necessary conditions for true cultivation, enlightenment, and ultimate liberation. In the vast universe, only human beings have a unique bodily structure containing three key elements essential for entering the path of spiritual practice: the third eye, or heavenly eye, the dantian, and an innate kind-hearted nature. The third eye, once open, grants one the ability to see through the essence of things, and even perceive aspects of the past and future of sentient beings. The dantian is the energy center, allowing humans to accumulate power, awaken wisdom, and develop extraordinary abilities. Meanwhile, kindness forms the moral foundation that keeps one aligned with righteous principles in this age of Dharma decline, helping one avoid falling into false paths. Because they lack these three essential components, extraterrestrials can only imitate human cultivation externally but cannot truly enter its essence. They may show reverence to deities, build temples, and worship statues of Buddhas, but these acts are merely superficial. Gods and Buddhas do not offer salvation to animals, no matter how intelligent they are, because the root nature and spiritual foundation of their beings are incompatible with the righteous path of cultivation. The monk's story is not merely about a strange encounter, but rather a revelation of a grand truth about the unique role of humans in the cosmos, a seemingly small and fragile species, yet endowed with the profound potential to surpass all limitations, even those that the most advanced extraterrestrial civilizations long to overcome. The strange tale of the Burmese monk is not merely a religious legend or a fantastical science fiction story. It carries a profound message about the decline of the Dharma in the age of chaos, while also emphasizing the importance of rediscovering the true Dharma in a world dominated by materialism. The unexpected encounter between a spiritual seeker and two extraterrestrial beings illuminated a long-forgotten truth for humanity. Science cannot replace faith, and technology cannot replace morality. In a modern world where people increasingly depend on machines, artificial intelligence, and lifeless systems, this story serves as a reminder that human beings are noble creatures, gifted with the ability to choose between good and evil, between enlightenment and delusion. Meanwhile, extraterrestrials, despite their technological superiority, long for what humanity is slowly discarding: faith in the divine, reverence for truth, and the capacity to cultivate the spirit and transcend reincarnation. The monk did not find the true Dharma in renowned sacred lands, nor among Daoist priests who had lost their righteous minds. But on a lonely path, amid an era of chaos and worldly distractions, he awakened to a profound realization: the true Dharma does not reside in any particular form or scripture, but in sincere intention, reverence, and the diligent spiritual cultivation of each individual. The story closes with a journey that is still unfolding, but for the reader, perhaps a doorway has been opened, a doorway to knowledge and faith, reminding us that we, as ordinary human beings, hold within us a chance so precious that even the vast universe must look upon it with awe.